Millions of dollars have been poured into elections statewide, both parties trying to get their candidates into the Illinois State House.
But before the results are tabulated, we wanted to track the money and see where it's all going. News Channel 20's Jordan Abadea and Adam Reif break down the numbers in this special report.
We are just one day away from Election Day, and already tens of millions of dollars has been spent on races up and down the ballot.
It's the most expensive election the state of Illinois has ever seen, and it's all about the balance of power in the State House.
Here's a look at where the money comes from and who it goes to. Lawmakers left town in July with a temporary budget to get through the end of the year, and more importantly, to get through the election.
Governor Rauner said this election is about reform or the status quo. Democrats are fighting to maintain supermajorities that they hold in both the House and Senate.
Governor Rauner wants to flip some of the Democratic seats red with the hope that he can get some of his turnaround agenda passed. The battle for power has created one of the most expensive campaign seasons Illinois has ever seen.
On the Republican side, the biggest donors are Governor Rauner along with Kenneth Griffin and Richard Uihlein. Between the three of them, they've donated about $61 million this cycle, $32 million of that coming from Rauner.
Democrats' biggest donors are trial lawyers, the unions, and a few wealthy business people. Democrats have raised about $30 million for the committees they control. That's not including direct donations made to the candidates and then transferred elsewhere.
All of that money flows to a candidates committee and political action committees that support causes but aren't directly tied to the candidates. Here are the top 10 earners this election season. 5 are Republican and 5 are Democratic organizations.
For Democratic incumbents, about 20 to 30% of their money comes from party committees. But for Republicans, between 70 to 90% of their campaign cash comes from within the party.
The most expensive race is the state comptroller race, topping $10 million between the two candidates. Many have dubbed it a proxy war between Rauner and Madigan for control of the state's checkbook.
Hotly contested state house races are also passing the $1 million mark. The top 5 races all top $3 million, with a top house race hitting nearly $4.5 million.
Ultimately, only 68 of the 118 House seats are contested, and only 13 of 40 Senate races are contested.
Republicans claim they are finally able to level the playing field when it comes to campaign dollars because Democrats had outraised them 2-to-1 in recent years. But Democrats say their money comes from organizations that represent thousands of people, not a wealthy select few.
And it all comes down to tomorrow, Election Day, and we'll finally find out if all of that money pays off. It's about picking up a few seats in the House or Senate for Governor Rauner and finally getting that turnaround agenda passed. We'll, of course, have coverage all day long, starting in the morning all the way through the final races.